Most coaching marketing is written by people who learned from people who never checked whether the patterns they were copying held up against the ICF Code or FTC rules. This unit walks through the two governing frameworks, ICF Standard 5.2 and the FTC endorsement guides, and applies them to 4 marketing decisions where the standards bite hardest: outcome claims, testimonials, case studies, and credential claims. There's a pattern in coaching marketing across the industry. Coaches write copy by reverse engineering what they've seen other coaches write. They see a testimonial that says, "I doubled my revenue in 90 days," and think, that's what good testimonials look like. They see a headline promising a specific transformation and think, "I need one of those." Almost nobody in that chain has checked whether any of it holds up against the ICF Code of Ethics or the FTC's rules on testimonials. 2 governing frameworks, not alternatives. They operate in parallel. ICF Code of Ethics 2025, Standard 5.2, Section 5, Professional Integrity and Accountability. Make verbal and written statements that are true and accurate about what I offer as an ICF professional, what is offered by ICF, the coaching profession, and the potential value of coaching. FTC endorsement guides, updated 2023. The ICF Code governs professional standards. The FTC governs U.S. commercial law. A testimonial that violates FTC rules is both a legal problem and an ICF Code problem. CC1 demonstrates ethical practice, is the load-bearing competency across this entire module. 2 of the 4 marketing decisions with what the standards say. Outcome claims and copy. Transform your leadership in 90 days. 2 problems. First, transform is an unmeasurable outcome claim, potentially flagged under Standard 5.2 for implying guaranteed results. Second, 90 days with no disclosure of what's included invites FTC inquiry, if not representative of typical outcomes. The operator move, qualify the claim. Clients report specific measurable outcome after a standard engagement length, or remove it and lead with process, not promise. Testimonials. My business tripled after 6 months of coaching. 2 problems. FTC requires disclosure of any material connection, reduced rate pilot program. Standard 5.2 prohibits the business tripled attribution without qualification. The coach cannot substantiate that coaching caused the revenue increase. Case studies. She came to me burned out. 6 months later, she had a VP promotion and a balanced life. 2 problems. First, client consent. Did the client agree in writing to have this case used in marketing? CC1 Subcompetency 5 maintains confidentiality, governs this. Second, attribution. Coaching caused the VP promotion cannot be substantiated under Standard 5.2. The operator move, written consent, qualified attribution, frame the outcome as the client's work. Credential claims. Claiming an ICF credential you no longer hold or haven't renewed is the clearest Standard 5.1 violation. Accurately identify my coaching qualifications and work within the boundaries of my level of coaching competency, expertise, experience, training, certifications, and my ICF credential. Operators keep credential status current and check every page that references it. The attribution problem, fully scripted. A coach has a genuinely excellent testimonial. A client came exhausted, on the verge of leaving a senior role they'd worked toward for a decade. After 6 months of coaching, the client negotiated a new scope at work, set clearer boundaries, and reported feeling engaged again. The coach writes, "After working with me, she saved her career and rediscovered her purpose." Here's what's wrong. Saved her career is the coach's interpretation of an outcome the client named differently. Rediscovered her purpose is a transformation claim the coach can't prove. After working with me implies causation the coach can't substantiate. Under Standard 5.2, the statement is not true and accurate about the potential value of coaching. The accurate version: over 6 months of coaching, she identified specific changes she wanted to make at work, made them, and described herself as more engaged than she'd felt in years. That sentence is defensible. The first one isn't. The consent gap, fully scripted. A coach runs a pilot with 3 clients from a corporate sponsor. Deeply discounted rate, designed to build a case study for the HR team. 1 client becomes the centerpiece of the case study. The case study goes on the coach's website. 2 problems. First, the client never gave individual written consent for their story to be used publicly. They consented to the internal HR report. Second, the material connection, the discounted rate, the sponsor relationship, isn't disclosed. Under FTC rules, that discount is a paid endorsement, and the material connection must be disclosed. Under Standard 5.2, using client information to create a misleading impression about coaching outcomes is a direct violation. The fix is simple: written consent per client, explicit about what it covers, and a disclosure line if the relationship was compensated. The discipline isn't restriction, it's protection. The coach who markets inside these lines never has to manage a complaint about their marketing because the compliance was built in. The one who doesn't has a liability that compounds every time they run the same page. The next move: the ethical marketing audit. Pull your website, social profiles, and any printed marketing. Check each element against 3 columns: ICF Standard 5.2, FTC disclosure requirements, and CC1 Subcompetency 5 for client consent on case studies. The audit output is the thing you change before you build more marketing. Outcome claims and testimonials are the documented harm version of the marketing problem. What's harder to see and harder to defend in a code complaint is the manipulative approach, the urgency that isn't real, the scarcity that's manufactured. That's the next video, and it's the sharper call.